Welcome to medieval Italy, a land of art, culture, and apparently very valuable buckets. Yep, you heard that right. In 1325, two of Italy's proudest cities, Bologna and Modena, went to war over a wooden bucket. And this wasn't just a neighborhood spat. It was a full-blown, armor-clashing, sword-swinging war. So, how does a bucket cause so much drama? Well, sit back and let me tell you a tale so bizarre that you might just question the sanity of medieval politics. Bologna and Modena, rival cities in the Emilia-Romagna region, were like the Romeo and Juliet of Italian cities, except without the romance and way more grudges. These two cities had been at each other's throats for centuries. Land disputes, political differences, and now, a stolen bucket. Classic. So, one day, Modena decides to sneak into Bologna and, for reasons only known to them, they steal a wooden bucket from a well. Now, this wasn't just any bucket. Well, actually, it was just any bucket. But to Bologna, it became a symbol of honor. The kind of honor that you apparently defend with swords and siege weapons. Can you imagine the conversation? A Modenese soldier proudly marched into the town square, holding the bucket high, shouting, "We have triumphed." And everyone else is just nodding like, yeah, this is normal. But Bologna? They didn't see the humor. They saw disrespect. They demanded the bucket back. Modena, in true sibling rivalry fashion, said, "Nope, it's ours now. Deal with it." And what happens next? Naturally, a war. Bologna assembled an army of 32,000 men. 32,000. That's a huge number of people for the time. Can you imagine being one of those soldiers? So, what are we fighting for today? A bucket? Seriously? And yet, there they were, marching towards Modena, prepared to defend the honor of their stolen well accessory. On November 15, 1325, the armies clashed at the Battle of Zappolino, just outside the walls of Bologna. It was fierce, it was brutal, and most importantly, it was over very quickly. In fact, the whole battle lasted just a few hours. Modena's smaller army, probably powered by the glory of their wooden trophy, managed to push Bologna back. And before you could say bucket, the Bolognese were retreating. I wonder if at some point during the retreat, a Bolognese soldier was like, "Wait, did we really just lose a war over a bucket?" But Modena wasn't done. No, they wanted to really rub salt in the wound. After the battle, they marched right up to Bologna, victorious, and grabbed another bucket, just to prove a point. They were that petty. And so, Modena returned home with not one, but two buckets. Their prize? Eternal bragging rights. In fact, if you visit Modena today, you can still see the original bucket displayed in their town hall. They really haven't let it go. That's right, 700 years later, and they're still showing off that bucket like it's a gold medal. Behold, the most fought-over bucket in history. Imagine being a tour guide in Modena. And here we have the bucket. It's a bucket. But for them, it's not just a bucket. It's a symbol of victory. And let's be honest, a hilarious part of history. And what about Bologna? Well, after losing both the war and their bucket, they probably had to deal with the medieval equivalent of endless trash talk. "Hey Bologna, need a new bucket? Oh wait, we took yours." You know, the kind of stuff you never live down. These days, Bologna and Modena are peaceful neighbors, and the rivalry has mostly simmered down. But the story of the War of the Oaken Bucket lives on as a reminder that sometimes, human pride can turn the most ridiculous things into reasons for battle. Who knew a wooden bucket could cause such chaos? So, next time you lose your bucket or can't find a spare one in your house, just remember, at least you're not starting a war over it. And if you ever visit Modena, don't forget to pay your respects to the bucket that launched 1,000 swords, or, well, maybe just a few hundred. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this slice of history with a side of humor. And subscribe for more absurd stories from the past. Until next time.